Hello and welcome to another 5-minute website review with myself, Steve Woody from Online Mastery. Today we're looking at businessfriend.net as submitted by Kerry. Kerry says the problem she's having with the site right now is that Google doesn't seem to be picking up information provided in Yoast SEO. So already I know that she's using a WordPress website, but the results that she would like is higher ranking for keywords such as transcription services. So it's a copywriting service and she's looking for better SEO results. So the first thing that I would say to you here is that if you want to, don't assume that Google will find your website. It is not Google's job to find your website. It is actually your job as the website owner to tell Google where your website is. And the way that we do that is we have to do something using what is called Webmaster Tools. So there is a website that you can go to. If you go to Google, I'm just going to go there now so I can just bring this across. Here in the UK, it's you go to google.com. You basically just want to type in Webmaster Tools. Okay, and then when you sign in, you want to look for what's called the Search Console. So when you go to the Search Console here, it's going to say the first thing it wants to know is what is your website. So let's just do this right now whilst we're here. We would then type in the website, okay, and then we'd have to add the property. Now, I'm not going to do that because obviously I'm logged in as myself here, but if I go to my business page, I can take you through this. Hold on a second. Let's have a look at, here we go. So let's just click on my website. And so what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to submit your website. So when you click on here, sitemaps, you can enter in the sitemap of your website. And so this is what you need to do. You need to come to you need to add your site, and then you need to come down here and you need to come to sitemaps and you need to add your sitemap. Now, if you are using Yoast, which you said you are, you're using Yoast SEO, what you'll actually want to do is you'll want to index this, which is /sitemap_index.html. And you can find that within the Yoast plugin. But if you're struggling, just type in where do I find my sitemap in Yoast into Google, and it will tell you, and that will tell Google where your website is. So that's the first thing that you need to do, and that will definitely help. But let's just have a quick look at the site as well. I'm going to go through this. So what you're saying here when I come to the site, first thing I can see is that you've got your logo, just some friendly advice here. You've got your logo on a white background, and then you've got the background of the site here with kind of a grey, and it kind of leaves this little line that you can see. So what I would be tempted to do if you have the ability is to come into this header area here on your website. If you can go into the design, if you've got the ability to do that. And I would just change this background color and just make it white. And just by doing that simple thing alone, what that's going to do is it's going to make it look a little bit cleaner just on the top here. As you can see, there's no box now around that. It just makes that look a little bit cleaner. And possibly as well, I would make this logo a little bit smaller. The reason I do that, it's a nice size logo, but you've got all of this empty white space sitting under the menu. It just doesn't quite look as nice as I think it could. So I'm just going to, let's just bring this down to about 50%. Okay, and then what you will probably look to do from here, straight away from doing that, is just take the menu and we put a little bit of margin on top of the menu there. So let's just say maybe a 25 pixel margin on the top, maybe even 20. Okay, so straight away, just by doing that alone, when I come to this site now, as you can see, this sits in the middle. It's a lot cleaner. This is a little bit smaller, but it just brings this up a little bit. And also now I can see these a lot better as well. All of the images here, you can see are different sizes. I'd make sure they're the same size images. Ideally, you want the same size image with the text all aligned nicely, and the call to actions which are here. These are all a little bit disjointed. I would probably have them to the point where they're all aligned. And there's some stuff that you can do to make that happen. We can talk about that later, but that's just something in terms of feedback that I would give you. There's no obvious thing to scroll down here, so when I come to this site, the first thing I would say is maybe give it a little bit more spacing here, or put a break in between each of these because the words are quite condensed together. And also there's no call to action. It's like I have to figure this out for myself. You're leaving me to look through here. There's no obvious thing that I can, unless I hover over this, I don't know these are here. So maybe a little icon that says here's a drop down, because that would be a good thing to have. And a call to action, get started, or even a scroll down. Like on the last website review I did, you'll see there was a little anchor icon that you could scroll down. And so I would definitely have that. Add a little bit of padding here. There's some nice padding on the left and right, but not on the top and the bottom. And so again, this section, it's just little bits of design, but they make a difference. And so just these little tweaks that take a couple of minutes give you a little bit more pride over your website. And also when people are looking through, it will just give them a little bit more comfort knowing that you take care. Because, and I know this isn't intentional, and you're not a website developer, so I appreciate this. But what happens is when people come to your website and you have a professional service that you offer, i.e., copywriting, and they look at your website and they say, "Oh, you know, like this padding's not right, or this isn't aligned," instantly people will assume that maybe you make grammar mistakes or that you have inconsistencies in your professional service as well. I know it's not fair to say that, but it's just proven to be true that um, how you present yourself in terms of your website and what you do and everything and everything. You know, if you turn up to a meeting and you're wearing disheveled clothing, regardless whether you're in a fashion industry or not, you could be the best copywriter in the planet. But if you turned up with ripped jeans and a smelly t-shirt on with stains on it, people are going to judge you based on that. People judge on appearance, and your website is no different. So if you don't want people to judge you initially, you want to get past that initial hurdle, just make sure you just tweak these little things, make sure things are aligned. People don't necessarily know when they see good design, but they will know when they see bad design. And this isn't necessarily bad design, it's just a little bit of attention to detail. That's all I would say. And so just a little bit more spacing, a little bit of the alignment issues there. Definitely make those things, because if you do that, it'll make a big difference. And at the bottom here, I mean, I just honestly, my honest opinion here, just remove this whole section at the bottom. These icons, the way that they are, the way that they look, it looks cheap, and it lessens the brand of the rest of the page. Everything else looks nice and clean. This section at the bottom looks like it was done in MS Paint. I don't mean to be disrespectful, so I would just remove that altogether. But aside from that, there's just some initial things that you can do there. Definitely look into the sitemaps. Definitely make sure that remember, it is not Google's responsibility to find you. It is your responsibility to tell Google where you are. And so I would definitely do that first and foremost as the initial thing.